Hi, welcome. This is Marie and Michelle. And Michelle Rossi is going to be sharing with you today how to do a quick pressure cooker workshop that transformed her business. So take it over, Michelle.
Awesome. Well, I was really excited when the company rolled out the quick cooker at conference because I kept hearing on my shows when I talk about the rock crock or different things, oh, I have an Instant Pot. I don't need whatever it is you have. So when I realized that we were slow to the game because we really wanted to come out with a product that lived up to Pampered Chef's quality and reputation, I realized I had something valuable to offer people. So at my shows, here's what I was finding. I would ask, who has an electric pressure cooker? I did not ask if they had an Instant Pot because I don't want to get into a negative comparison of anybody's product, or make people feel bad for having one. So people would say, hands would go up, and I'd say, so great, what are you making in it? 9 times out of 10, I heard people say, oh, it's still in the box in the garage. I'm afraid of it. So I'd ask people, what are you afraid of? You can guess it was exploding because somebody's mom or grandma, maybe even themselves, had a pressure cooker on the stove. And if they watched the Lucy show where she exploded a hole through her ceiling in her kitchen, people had negative connotations. So we needed to educate them on why our safety features were so important. And I think the biggest thing is you cannot take the lid off when that red pressure button is on. And that makes people feel really comfortable. We don't have the burn issues that the Instant Pots and everything else do. And Marie reminded me of something that if they're buying it at Walmart or Kohl's, on the bottom it says something about the parts may come from
Made exclusively for.
Yeah, for Walmart or Kohl's, which means they're not getting the Instant Pot repair pieces, parts, and all that stuff, which would make me wonder, are they just getting it because it's cheaper? Did they put cheaper stuff in the pot? Your customers don't know that, but I think they probably should. So here's the thing, and I told Marie too, and I tell this to people at my shows, there's nothing on the market you can't buy cheaper. There's just nothing. There's always some place where you can take your coupons in and get discounts. The problem is those people that have those things that they got on sale sitting in their garage, how useful are those? Yeah. So once you pay the price for something, that's no longer in your mind. What's on your mind is, can I use it? Is it safe? How will it help me? And so it's all about those things, and the price, excuse me, becomes insignificant at that point.
I think that's a really good thing to reiterate. So you say that line, Michelle, once, how do you say it at your...
I say it at my shows, I say, okay, you can take your 20% off Bed Bath & Beyond coupon, your $10 Kohl's cash, and you can walk in somewhere and you can buy another pressure cooker type. Also, you today just said you have one, it's in the garage, you're afraid to use it. So whenever you purchase something, what becomes important afterwards is no longer the price. The price is gone. Mm-hmm. And what becomes important is, I'm afraid of it. Who's going to help me? Can I take 10 friends into Kohl's and say, show me how to use this? If I have a problem with it coming to pressure, who do I ask? Nobody in those stores is going to know. You can't go into Amazon and type in, how do I fix this? Your consultant and the company are your key support people. And that's how I want people to see me and see us. And that's how I evolved into the classes, because I didn't want my people to feel like that. So I just keep a running list of who has these, and I invite them to my house.
So again, Michelle, you are doing it both ways, inviting people to your house for a pressure cooking class.
Yeah.
And people have booked their own pressure cooking class.
Yeah, I did one outside, and if I have to go because it's a distance and they're in a certain area, I will certainly do it. But it's easier if I do it at my house because, for a simple reason, I don't have to pack anything up. And I do provide the ingredients. My recipes are very inexpensive that we do, and we only do 2. And that way, invariably somebody says, have you got this or got that? I reach into my drawer or my tool turnabout, or I go in the garage and I can show it to them and have them get excited about it. The most important thing you want to do that you want to achieve from this is building those relationships where people know they can trust you to be their consultant. And the word consultant means somebody who's going to help you with whatever you need help with, who's the expert. And when you're sitting around the table and you're doing things together, you are not host, guest, consultant, you are friends. Mm-hmm. And I tell people it's my express excitement to help people really de-stress their cooking. I won't go into what I tell them about the product, except I went through the safety features with them at the show. All right. So, and I tell them at the parties, I want people to feel 100% comfortable with their new product, use it all the time. So when you come to my house, we will show you. So when I do the class, let me back up. Now that we have the accessory pieces, the rack, the cups, the fabulous recipes, the April host bonus of $100, the May 60% off anything, and the June double, I mean, we are positioned for massive bookings, great sales, and we can do even more with all this. So, and now that we have the all those accessory pieces, it's going to be even easier to have people excited about booking another show, even if they had one just within a few months. So I asked one of the guests to bring their own quick cooker. So we've got two. We're only going to make 2 recipes, as I said. So we're going to use mine. And I walk through the process of how you use it. So let me, how do I screen share here? Do I hit share? Mm-hmm. Okay, share. And here we go. Oh, this is cool. Can you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. A consultant brilliantly put this together.
And this is one of the documents that Michele sent, and it's part of the brochure, correct?
Yeah, and I put together a binder for each guest, and they take home, because I really want them to be able to look at this and see what to do. So somebody brilliantly put these pictures together and talks about how to remove all these pieces to clean. And you don't have to, I tell them they don't have to clean it all the time. But if they take the lid off and it smells like salsa chicken or tortilla soup, they might want to follow these procedures. Another point I make, when they remove all these parts, the ring, the little pressure, the red pressure button, and the little plastic piece that holds the pressure button in place, take that little white teeny thing and put it in a cup or a bowl, because that's going to go down the drain easily, and they may not know it's in their disposer till it's too late. And you cannot just buy that little piece. I really think that should be an accessory, because I'm waiting for the day that somebody calls and says, oh my God, I lost this. If you buy... Can you
scroll down? I'm only seeing the top of the...
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I'm gonna go down. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna scroll down as we need to. Okay, but that little top piece, I encourage you to buy the set. You can buy the pressure valve, the little black guy where the steam comes out, and just have it on hand, because you might leave it behind in a show and not realize it, and that would be disaster. Okay, so the cutout in the corner needs to match up. It just tells, I just walk through exactly how this is. I take the lid apart. I have somebody press the silicone ring inside so they get the feel for it. And it shows, this is how you want your buttons to look. Can you see that, Marie? Oh,
mm-hmm. You went
I hiccuped or something. Okay. So I show them how those buttons need to look. And, so if the button on the right is down, the steam's going to escape, and that's not going to work for them. Alrighty. And then somebody else brilliantly did, I'm just so thankful to all these consultants who do these things. I go through this thing, getting started with your pressure cooker, your quick cooker. It goes through, what does pressure release mean? What's natural? What's manual? How do you lock the lid? How do you aim the steam away? The fill lines, the liquid that's required, removing the lid, all those little things, and they're going to take that home with them. We spend more time on it during the class, but...
Is this a separate document, Michele? Because I'm not sure I have this as a separate document. We need to add this.
To the whole thing. If not, I'll email it to you.
Okay, please do.
Okay. Then I do this little thing. I put this in there, always check before using it, because we hear occasionally how something's not coming to pressure. And I know people have gotten lids replaced, but sometimes I just think it's because it's a new toy and people are not familiar with it. And so this is kind of a nice little thing that they can refer to. And I tell them this is, you can always feel free to call me. You can call the company, but maybe this little thing, this checklist will help you fix things on your own quickly. Then I like this little conversion chart where we can talk about slow cooker time versus quick cooker time, and all those little lovely things. Now, when they come, if they they're invited to come even if they don't have a quick cooker. They just want to learn about them and see if that might be good for them. Certainly a great way to get bookings, but those who have one, I have them bring their cooking guide, because I want to walk through those first pages of it about and get them really excited about using it, where they can see the basic ways to get started. The hard-boiled eggs, the beans. Beans are amazing. I also include in my documents the quick cooker chicken lettuce wraps, because I don't think the little booklet does it justice. The recipe gives you more information and more things you can add to it. So what we do is we will, the first one I'll set up is the hard-boiled eggs. And now I can use the racks for it, so we can do more. But and then I can also talk about the things like the key lime cups. I haven't made that yet.
So let me just make sure that I'm understanding. You have a few things made ahead of time, and you have 2 pressure cookers. So you
I don't do anything ahead of time.
You don't do anything ahead of time.
Well, I might do the bread ahead of time, but that would be it. And then we can go through. So when they get there, the first thing we will make is a hard-boiled eggs, but I have them push the buttons because it can be confusing, custom and time, and then going up or down, with a timer. And I know when I first started, I was like, oh, it's just not going. I hadn't pushed the start button. So that's,
So we have 2, I'm a very visual person. So we have 2 quick cookers. The first thing we're doing is pushing the button to get the hard-boiled eggs started. Right. What is the second thing that you're doing?
We do salsa chicken lettuce wraps.
Okay.
With rice.
With rice.
Because I want them to see they can do one-pot meals.
Okay. And then the eggs come out, and then what happens? Okay,
so the eggs come out, or the eggs get done. I show them. I have somebody release the pressure. Mm-hmm. And I can talk about, if I want to, how this is nice because the steam goes away. I know people with other ones where they have to kind of come in with a wooden spoon so their hands don't get steamed while they're releasing, so they can see why this would work better. And people who don't have quick cookers that are looking at all the products can come and see how this works. And so then we're getting started with the salsa chicken lettuce wraps, which are really easy. And then we put the rice in, and I don't manually release. I let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then we do it because I want to make sure the rice is fully done. And I also add a little more liquid than it calls for, because I like my rice really kind of a little bit moister. And they can get excited about being able to do 2 things in the pot. And then I will refer to the cooking guide with the salmon, where they do the veggies and the fish, and it's done in 3 minutes by the time it starts counting down. So I want them to see the full variety. I also tell them when they've done the basics. So let me go back. When the salted chicken is going, the eggs are done, and it is so impressive to me how those eggs come out so much better than if you put them in a pot of water on the stove. There's nothing green. And they are lighter in texture. I don't know how to explain it, but I say, try out the egg whites. You're not going to believe it. So everybody gets an egg. We cut them in half when they're hot. They can put a little dot of butter on it and salt and pepper, and they eat them. And it's very exciting. So we talk about all the different things you can do with eggs, egg salad, you can do your eggs for your potato salad. You can even throw your potatoes in there too. Get it all done at one time. And then I say, when you're ready to venture out, and maybe you've got pork chops. How do I pressure cook pork chops is what you're going to ask Google. And you'll get like 10 different recipes. Just pick the one you like best and do that. I make sure they understand about beans. Split pea soup is my little grandson's favorite. And I talk about there's no soaking the beans. It's just so awesome. I'm also now talking about meal prepping, where you can use this guide, so like with the the salsa chicken lettuce wraps. I like to do a double batch because that's a great base for different recipes, enchiladas, quesadillas, over salad, over a baked potato. I like it just by itself with a little sour cream and cheese on it. I'm low carbing. Oh my gosh, that's the most delicious recipe. So then in the, and I do the bread, and I try to have it coming out of the oven as they are arriving.
So that must smell absolutely amazing.
Oh my gosh, look, like, what is that? And I tell them, so if you're selling your house, get a quick cooker, make bread when people are coming through, because they will buy your house. They'll probably want to buy your quick cooker too, but that's okay. Throw it in.
And just for a point, in case anybody hasn't, the bread actually rises in the quick cooker because it's proofed, but it does bake in the regular oven. So. Yep.
And I have where I live, there are a lot of people low carbing. And so I can talk about how you can adjust different recipes, like the cheesecake. I'm going to make one that's all low carb.
Nice.
I don't use graham crackers.
So the bread comes out of the oven. The eggs have been eaten. Now your salsa chicken and rice is done. Do you do anything else?
I have them pull out the chicken, chop it up, put it back in the pot. I can also add on little corn tortillas. Just microwave those in one of the quick cookers. So if they want a heartier meal besides the lettuce, they've got all that. And we just kind of talk about all the different ways they want to use them. What are the things that they want to enjoy from it? So let's see. What was my next thing? Oh, you know what? I tell them this is their personal chef. You give your chef the ingredients. You throw the lid. You just push some buttons. You walk away. You just walk away. Okay. All right, that's my sparklets delivery people. So for my bookings, I had people who did not yet own quick cookers, but they've been to shows where they saw them in action. So at my first one, I got 2 cooking shows for people who wanted them and a catalog show. So I did another one in December, and I got 2 more virtual parties. I took a break from doing them because I was going to do one on a Sunday, but my mom had come to my house on hospice care and died the day before we would have had this class. So it would have been a little awkward trying to set up while they were, while the hospice people were doing what they needed to do. And I wasn't in the mood to do things. I have one going on this Sunday. And so I would just say, and I've got, to make it better, I go to the website and I print out about 5 or 6 recipes that we do not have in a cookbook. And I print out the salsa chicken one, as I said, because I think they need to see more options, the tortilla soup, the key lime cups. And somebody also did a nice little recipe collection that I've included. And I just published it the way it was because it gives credit to the consultants who created all these. So it's a whole lot of recipes. Right. And so they can just see there's nothing they can't do in this pot. And now that we've mystified it.
We will have the document on pcteamtraining.com to go along with this video. So we will have this document, which is a recipe book, plus your quick cooker tips. That was a separate document. That's one we need to get.
Okay, I'll send that over to you.
So I just want to kind of sum up, Michele, to make sure that I understand this right. This is a great way for you to do cooking classes from your own home and do it as a customer service. So how did you market it to begin with? How did you get your initial cooker?
When I'm talking to people at my parties, I tell them, when they've said I've got one and I'm afraid of it, or I don't want to get one because I'm afraid of it, and I want to hear what's going on. And then I just do my talk about quick cookers and how we've gone past all those safety issues, and I go into detail about that. And And I talk about how many of us get home and everybody's hungry, but they're looking at you to solve that problem. Well, just imagine you take these ingredients, you throw them in the pot, and you've got 20 minutes to have not one, well, some, I would say not, you don't have to have just one glass of wine, you can have two, and one gal goes, or five. So, so you don't have to be in charge of all that stuff. And to make sure you really understand it, I offer these cooking classes, and I explain what those are.
So you're getting cooking class, you're getting people to sign up for your quick cooker cooking class from the shows that you're already doing. Now, I just want to throw this in as a second option. I know Marna Ross does pressure cooking workshops, but she invites like 3 other consultants to come to this. So they have 4 quick cookers going at a time with different recipes being made in each quadrant of the room. And so it's also a great way to not only get sales, but to get bookings and recruit leads from these workshops. And you're not leaving home, like you said. So.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you're helping your consultants to get more business themselves and get familiar with the quick cooker.
Okay, so we made bread, we have eggs, and we have the salsa chicken with rice. Anything else that you want to add to that?
No, I think that's good. I mean, and everybody does different varieties, different versions of it. And
how long does it take? So everybody's going home with a booklet, and the stuff that we're seeing, you actually printed it up, so everybody at the workshop goes home with a handout.
Yeah, technically it should take 2 hours, but with my hosts and customers, we end up just kind of hanging out. So, but technically maybe 2 hours would be good. There's nothing, I don't do it rushy. It's very casual. They're just hanging out with me in my kitchen.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Come cook with your consultant. So
that's the one. That is awesome.
So I'm going to stop the recording right now, and if the documents that you're seeing on the screen, we will have posted with this video. So I just want to thank Michele for sharing her pressure cooking workshop idea. It's brought her sales, it's brought her bookings. It was a way to work out of her home and work smarter, not harder. So we hope you'll take this idea and run with it and share your handouts and things back with us. Thank you, Michele.
Awesome. Thanks, Marie.